Hi, Dave Smith of Police One, and this is Roll Call Reality Training. Well, today we're going to go to Hamilton, Montana, where we're going to see Officer Ross Jessup fight for his life. Now, Officer Jessup has made what he thinks is a DUI stop, but what it is a suspect holding a .41 Magnum ready to shoot our officer. Now, as the officer makes the approach, what hinks him up, what makes him suspicious, is the suspect reaches out and adjusts the outside mirror as our officer approaches. Now, we're used to having a subject when we stop them, especially at night, we put those takedown lights on, they reach up and adjust that mirror to get that bright light out of their eyes. But how often do you ever have a subject reach out and adjust the mirror so he can watch you? Well, that gets our officer in the right mindset. Now watch what happens from the beginning.
How's it going tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, the reason why I pulled you over, that was a turn-only lane that you drove through that red light.
Actually, that was a straight lane.
The turn-only lane.
Okay.
Okay, I was right behind you. I know which lane you were in. Okay. How much have you had to drink tonight?
Plenty.
Plenty?
Yeah.
How much? Hold on! Shit! 65163. Shots fired. Shots fired. I repeat, that suspect just crashed into a telephone pole.
Wow, pretty intense, right? And I know everyone cheers when they see the explosion in the distance and the power going out. But let's think about what that officer went through. Now, as he makes the approach, again, he gets suspicious by that activity. But the subject appears to be intoxicated. All of a sudden, here comes that .41 Magnum out the window. Think about this. That's a huge hole in the end of that weapon. Our officer smacks at it. You hear the hammer fall on what is an expended cartridge, and nothing happens. That gives our officer that fraction of a second to spin out and move. Now, notice he never gives up. He later would explain that he had thought, oh my goodness, the guy's got the drop on me, and he certainly didn't say my goodness. But he doesn't give up. He spins, he moves, the gun goes off, that deafening roar of that .41 Magnum. Imagine being downrange of that forcing cone and that muzzle, the deafening blast. And then he comes up shooting, using the vehicle as cover, and he delivers those effective rounds on the subject who drives off or attempts to drive off. He recovers his flashlight, calmly calls for assistance, and then again, think about the issues that he's faced now. Life and death in a fraction of a second. There's a lot of training points here. So I want you to sit down, especially get with your team and talk about these things. Now, number one, traffic stops are inherently dangerous. You're on an active roadway. And remember, the subject, you don't know what's in that vehicle. You don't even know how many people are really in that vehicle. That's why on every traffic stop we have that +1 mindset, that expectancy mindset. If I see one subject, I'm expecting a second subject. I'm always expecting a weapon in a vehicle. Say, oh, well, that's Montana. I don't care where you're at. You expect a weapon in that vehicle. When you find that weapon, you search for the second weapon, the third weapon. The rule of +1 builds that proper mindset. When a subject initiates an assault on you, even if you think they've got the drop on you, and Jessup in that second thought, man, the guy's got the head start. Because the guy, remember, the bad guy initiating the action's already got a third of a second head start. But you don't give up. You keep going. Then our officer spun and moved and was missed by the subject. And then he delivered very effective rounds. And that's the thing, when you get to a position where you can effectively defend your position, defend it, win that confrontation. Then you get your backup, he recovers his equipment, does a great job. Now this is a very famous video, and I know it's been all around the country. But what I want you to do is sit down with your team and talk about these issues, because there's so many important ones here. And remember, even if you're hit by the suspect, you don't give up. You fight back and you win. But in this case, our officer wasn't, and it was a perfectly justified shooting, obviously, from what we've seen. Now, the thing is, what we have to remember is every traffic stop has this potential threat to it. So we want to be prepared, not terrified, but prepared. I want you to be concerned about what a subject's doing with his hands. I want you to be concerned about what other traffic's doing. I want you to think about all these things, taking it into account so you're always compensating for those risks that are out there. This officer did a wonderful job, won that confrontation, gave us a model how to never give up, even when the subject gets the head start on you, or what we call the drop on us. We don't wait, we win. And that's what you're going to do, win.